Welcome everyone to Hillcrest Connects, where we briefly want to share with you what it means to meet together as we catch a glimpse of what God is doing in and through our congregation. Today we have with us Donna Serr. She's a member of our church family and has been a part of our family for many, many years, and is also a very active volunteer. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
It's good to have you here.
Yes.
So COVID-19, it started in Canada late January, so it's been here for about 4 months now. Can you share with us just how that's affected you and your family over the last 4 months, and as things are starting to open up, how that's changed too?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, I've never baked so much, cleaned so much, cooked so much, and walked so much. But, you know, when it all happened, my life is very busy and hectic. I'm involved in many things in the church and outside of the church. And one of the things outside the church is I'm chairperson for the Children's Wish Foundation. So at that time, it was a very, very, very busy time for me in the Children's Wish Foundation. I do Walk for Wishes in the schools and prepare pledge envelopes and things for the children. And all of a sudden, it all came to a halt. And, you know, I must say that on the downside for the Children's Wish, of course, fundraising stopped for the charity, and that was a really hard thing because the funds weren't coming in for children to get their wishes. But for my life, like I said, I'm just a very busy person all the time, and all of a sudden, I had to just stop everything. And I had such a peace about that, and I just felt like God was saying, be still. This is just a time to be still and draw close to me. And I just felt that, not just for me, but for our whole world, our whole society. We were so busy, going, that we forgot about God many times in our lives in different situations. And I just felt this has been such a wonderful time for me just to get close to God again. And, you know, really make time for prayer. And even my husband and I, you know, we have that time we pray every morning. Other times, you know, our lives would be busy and we would forget to do that, right? So a lot of things, I just felt like I was just drawn close to Jesus again. And that was so good for me. Like I said, I've really enjoyed this time. You know, I know it's hard for many, and I do understand that. And one of the things that, or some of the things that I've tried to do to, just to help myself in the situation is every morning I FaceTime with a friend, dear friend Colleen, and we exercise for an hour. And then we pray after for the whole, for our world, for our province, for our city. So that's been really, really special.
You know, thinking of the Children's Wish Foundation and other ministries, they're time sensitive, right? And
yes.
With putting everything on hold, have you had to deal with, I don't know if guilt is the right word, but pressure and, you know, wanting to get things done and minister and be there for people, and you can't, and so you just can't.
Yeah, that is true, you know, as far as the Children's Wish goes. Because especially for these children who have immune systems that are compromised already, you have to be so careful in this COVID-19 time in our lives. And so there can't be any contact. Of course, I've talked to Wish families and said, you know, don't worry, we're going to get these wishes completed. We're going to get this done. And of course, they understand too, you know. So it's been a tough time as far as creating money for the wishes, but on the whole, I think people are understanding about this, and so it's just what it is, and there's nothing really you can do about it, you know.
That's great.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about ministry here at the church that you've not been able to do. What's that been like, or how have you handled it, and what have you done?
Yeah, well, one thing that I was working on was the spring celebration in May, and of course we had purchased things already ready to go, and of course that all came to a halt too. And I so enjoy doing that and organizing that and being a part of that and just ministering to those women. And yeah, that's been a little hard. And of course, our Bible studies all came to a halt as well. But I think people are still doing parts of that. I think they meet with friends and, walking. Walking is a great thing as long as you social distance. You can walk and pray and do a little Bible study. So, you just have to be creative, right? Yeah.
So as things are starting to open up, do you have concerns about that? Are you excited about that?
Yeah. It's sort of a catch-22. I'm so thankful for these businesses that are able to financially get back on their feet. And my heart goes out to them because I know many have suffered, and I don't even know if they'll get their businesses back up again. So I'm grateful in that way, but I think to myself, things are going to go back to the way they were. Life's going to be busy for everybody. And I think about my grandchildren. Their lives were so busy. They're involved in sports, going constantly, and all of a sudden, and I don't know if they'll ever be able to do things like that again. Sports. They're very involved in basketball and dance and things like that. So I'm saddened for that for them, But, I guess we just have to constantly be thankful for what we have. Like I think to myself, I am so thankful and grateful to live in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada, for what's happening in our world, I hope we can get back on our feet, financially with businesses. I hope that they'll be wise. I think they will. I know there's guidelines everybody has to go by. I just hope and pray that it all works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from what you've experienced over the last 4 months and looking ahead to what's to come, do you have words of encouragement you'd like to share with your church family?
Just always be grateful for what we have, because there's times that will come upon us that it's tough times, just like we went through. And so it's like that saying, be grateful that your glass is half full instead of not half empty. So I try to sort of look at life that way and just be really grateful for what I have. Even when things are taken from us, there is so much that we have yet, and so much, we are really so blessed in so many ways. Yeah. And we have Jesus. Like what greater gift and greater blessing is that than to know Jesus during a time like this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Donna, thanks for coming in and sharing with us.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you for joining with us. To stay connected, sign up on Realm, follow us on our social media sites, or visit us at hillcrestchurch.net.